Hello, very good morning. Hello, are you able to hear me? Okay. Have only two people? Okay, we'll continue, then we'll see in middle they may join. Okay. Yesterday we were discussing about like checkpoints, right? So, any questions on that one? No questions? So, to checkpoints are nothing but like to check the behavior of the object at a specific point of time is nothing but like checkpoint. Okay. So also you can consider as verification points, also you can consider as validation points. So there are so many checkpoints you will come across in your QTP. So standard checkpoint, bitmap checkpoint, image checkpoint, text area checkpoint, database checkpoint, then you will be coming across like XML checkpoint, accessibility checkpoint, table checkpoint. In all these checkpoints you will be mostly using like standard checkpoint and database checkpoint as well as like a table checkpoint also. Okay, so remaining checkpoints we may not get a chance, very rare, but those things also very important. Okay, so this is nothing but like checkpoint. So like you have to validate like enable or disable. So you can go for standard checkpoint. Okay, so that kind of things you have to validate. That means like enable or disable is nothing but like some property of that object, right? So you have to validate property of a particular object, that is nothing but like behavior of the application. So you go for checkpoint, but my requirement here is like in your application Gmail, if you take registration module and sign in module, two modules were there. So in registration module you will try to fill up like first name, last name, middle name, age, date of birth, like that you will try to fill up and click on submit button. So in registration module, whatever the username and password you are giving, that one you have to carry forward to registration module, and there you have to validate. Once you register, whether you are able to successfully log in or not, you have to validate. So here in registration module, every time username and password you will pass different values, right? So those values you have to carry forward from registration module to login module. Another example, let us suppose as soon as employee joins, you will fill up all the details, click on submit button. As soon as you click on submit button, it will allow you to navigate to search module. Let us suppose in search module, so in registration module, once you click on submit button, it's providing you employee ID. That one for each and every employee is different, right? For each and every employee. So that one you have to carry forward from registration module to search module, and in search module you have to enter that email ID and those details. What are the details you will enter, like first name, last name, middle name, whether all those details are correct or not. So here my point is like you have to carry forward values of a particular object from one location to another location. So at that point of time you can go for like output points. Okay, so in QTP you will come across one more point, that is nothing but like output points. Okay, so insert output points. So property of a particular object you have to use for future reference purpose. What you will is you will be storing it to somewhere in variable or environment variable or through a data table. Okay, so as of now you can remember variable and even we see like data table how we'll store, environment variable we'll see later. Okay. Okay. So so let us suppose here whatever the username and password, so these two values you have to store it to somewhere and carry forward it to okay. So at that point of time you can go for like output point. Okay. So insert, before that one small thing I will explain you. So with the QTP you will come across built-in feature, so that is nothing but like data table. So in your XLS file you will be seeing like three sheets, right? Whenever you open workbook, exactly in QTP also you will come across two sheets, global sheet and local sheet. I will explain in detail these sheets later. As of now, how we'll use this sheet with respect to output panels, we'll see. Okay. I will explain each and everything in detail. What is the purpose of global sheet, access sheet, how if you want to add sheets you can add, or you want to delete, how you will operate, and in real time how it will be really helpful. Each and everything we will try to discuss later. So as of now we'll see like output points perspective. Okay. Insert output point, standard output point. Okay. So click where you want to output. Okay. Then which value you have to output, this is the one, right? Value you have to output. So value where you want to output, so here modify. So from output values properties window, which property you have to output, so from here value only, right? So value you have to store it for future reference purpose. So value where you want to store, then once you select which property you have to output, click on modify button. Here you can store data table or environment variable. As of now we see like data table. Okay. So later we go for environment variable. So data table username. Okay. Click on OK button. Okay. So exactly whatever the parameter here you are taking, there you are giving, that one here also it will take it up. Okay. So exactly we go for like output point, standard output value. Password also needs to be output, right? So insert checkpoint, standard checkpoint, password. Okay. So which one here? Oh, checkpoint I am inserting, sorry. We go for like output point. Okay. So which value you have to output? Password you have to output. See here, password is showing directly, right? Password whatever you have given is showing directly. That is the disadvantage of your key to pivot. You should be little bit take care. Okay. Okay. Then where you want to store this value? Okay, I have muted all. Whenever you have questions, just message me. I can unmute. We can discuss. Okay. Then here this value you have to output it to somewhere, right? So where you want to output? So here it's taking directly something. If you want to take same field, you can give it up, or it's little bit meaningful like password you have to give. Okay, you can make it password. So which sheet you have to write, global sheet or local sheet? So sheet also here you can select. Okay, then click on OK button. Then these values you can go for like in login screen you can navigate there. You can use like okay. So okay, so you have to read data from your data table, means data table dot value. So for this command you have to pass two properties. So those are nothing but like what is the parameter, that means like what is the field like username or password, and from which sheet, global sheet or local sheet. Okay, so what is the field you have to capture and what is the sheet, that is what, that means like you have to pass two parameters. Okay, so here I have to capture username from which sheet, global, right? Okay, so exactly password. Okay, exactly password. So then click on run button. So what it will do, you see. Okay, remember if it is global sheet you can give directly without double quotes. If it is local sheet you have to pass in double quotes. Okay, I will explain in detail during data table. So you will come across one topic like data table, no, parameterization, that means like data driven testing. At the time I will explain in detail. As of now you can remember this is the stuff. Okay, here you are getting username then password. So wherever you want you can use these commands, right? So this is how you can carry forward data from one location to another location. So here you can store it into data table. So wherever you want you can use these are the commands. Okay, data table dot value, which field, which one. Okay, so this is nothing but like your output points. Okay, so very important. So what is the difference between checkpoints and output points? Remember checkpoints. Okay, checkpoints property of a particular object you will validate during runtime. But here property of a particular object you are saving in variable or data table or environment variable. You are saving some way, you are storing in some variable for future reference purpose. There also you are validating property only, here also you are validating property only, but there during runtime there itself you are validating, but here you are storing in some variable for future reference purpose. Just that's it. Okay, so very important question, there is no confusion. So there also you are validating property, here also you are validating property, but there and here is little bit different. Okay, so this is nothing but like your output points. Okay, exactly like that you can go for like a text output point. Okay, so then a database we never get a chance, but still if you want to do you can go for text output value, something like that you can try it out. Okay, exactly this is the same way. You know how to insert checkpoint means you should be aware of like how to go for like output point. Okay, this is the way. Only the thing is, okay, so insert output point qtp tool should be in record mode. Okay, so text we go for, so from here how will you insert checkpoint? Okay, okay, let us suppose, okay, so this is the value is frequently varying. Okay, so then okay, okay, what I have given, I went for checkpoint, sorry, insert output point text output value. Okay, so here I am trying something. Okay, so then output text, so where you have to output, exactly that's it. Okay, Google accounts output. Okay, so you give it while runtime it will try to store it up here, just that's it. Okay, so what it will do is output checkpoint. Okay, remember it will take checkpoint and output checkpoint, where it will output during runtime it will try to output value here. Okay, so this is nothing but like your checkpoints and output points. Okay, then we can go for like synchronization points, very important and very simple topic one way, but it's hectic in another way. Okay, in your qtp recording modes you were discussed, right? So how many recording modes are there? There are you will get 3 recording modes, right? So standard, normal recording or standard recording, analog recording and low level recording, but mostly which one you will use? Normal recording. Checkpoints we will discuss so many, but which one you will use mostly? Standard recording. Like that in qtp you may get so many features, so many options, but really you will go for like only one or two you will use, you may not get a chance to use all, but that is not the case with your synchronization points. There are so many ways you can insert your synchronization points, but in real time at some point of time definitely you will get a chance to use every synchronization point, every option whatever we are discussing here 100%. So I mean to say here like only the concept 100% we are going to use in your automation is this is the concept. So that is nothing but like synchronization points. Okay. Okay, so once you come up with your script, if you put for execution in QTP, execution will be very fast, right? You could have observed so many times, right? So execution will be very fast, like it may take 1 second or less than 1 second also. But let us suppose you are working with your Gmail account. So in Gmail, internet is very slow, let us suppose. At that time it will take too much time, right? At that time your application will take too much time for launching that application. But QTP is taking 1 second or less than 1 second, right? So if application is taking some time, that means like your internet is slow, application is taking some time, your QTP will make that step fail. But that is not exactly your application issue. That is script issue. Sorry, no, that is internet issue, right? That is internet problem. That is not your application problem. But your script is making here fail. That is not exact fail, right? So how do you handle this kind of situations? To handle this kind of situation in QTP, they come up with one powerful feature that is nothing but like synchronization points. Okay, so that is nothing but synchronization points. Okay, so with the help of synchronization points, what you will do is you instruct your QTP tool wait till application loads. Means application is taking some time. You are instructing your QTP tool to wait till application loads. That means like you are controlling both application and QTP done with same fast. That's what you are doing. Okay. So if application is fast, QTP also will execute fast. If application is taking some time, you instruct your QTP tool wait till application loads. So that is nothing but like synchronization points. Okay. So very powerful concept, very easy, but in real time you will face more and more issues with this is the topic, that is synchronization point. Okay, in QTP you come across so many synchronization points. We go one by one. You will be able to see. So you cannot use wait statement. Okay, so this is the drawback of your wait statement. So how you handle this situation, how you can overcome this? That means like my QTP is taking 5 seconds, you have to just wait for 5 seconds and go for next step. My QTP, my application is taking 10 seconds, QTP has to wait for 10 seconds and immediately have to go next statement. So how do you handle exactly like this? So there are so many other ways. Those are nothing but like just a second. Okay. So once you click on sign in button, you have to wait till this page loads, right? So what you can do is, in this page you can look for one object, it will always present. You can wait for till that object loads. Okay. Okay, so which object you can put, you can wait till that object load. Which object you can consider. So for that one, uh, before that, very small topic, that is object spy. What is the purpose of object spy? So the purpose of object spy is like, specific object is identifying by your QTP tool or not. That is what you have to find out. Means you can go for object spy. Okay, so object spy you can click from toolbar or tools object spy. In either of the way you can go for. Okay, tools object spy. Then for which object you have to wait. So the purpose of object spy is like, whether specific object is identifying by your QTP tool or not, and if that object is identifying by your QTP tool, what exactly that properties, what exactly developer use properties for that object. Okay, so that's what you have to inspect. Me see, wherever I click on hand button from object spy, I'm moving somewhere, it's blinking, right? So this is nothing but like inspecting. So if it's identifying by your QTP tool, it will blink like this, otherwise it doesn't blink. Okay, so in this page, this window already available, always you will come across, right? Image, this image, even this link also always you'll be coming across, even compose mail also. But compose mail what is taking? Web element. Even this one what is taking? Web element. This one is taking it as image. Okay, so this one is taking it as link. So what you can do is, wherever your QTP considering it as web element, it will create problems. Okay, so you don't go for like web element, you can insert synchronization point till that object loads. Okay, so as soon as that object loads, you can go and validating further. Like that you can come up with like your synchronization points. Okay, another way of inserting your synchronization point is like, insert synchronization point. Insert synchronization point. Okay, remember you have to insert synchronization point means, okay, your QTP tool should be in record mode. Okay, so record, insert synchronization point. Okay, so now it's enabled. So earlier it was not enabled. Why? Earlier I was not in record mode, now I put in record mode. Okay, okay, so you have to insert synchronization point means QTP tool should be in record mode. Insert synchronization point. So which object you can put? So web element, if you put, it will create problem. So you can put for this one image or any one of these things. Okay, you can go for image. Okay, so developer used, this is the hierarchy for putting that object. So exactly your QTP also taking same hierarchy. Then click on OK button. Yeah, as soon as you click on OK button or confirmation object, then it's giving you like synchronization point window. See here, till that object gets visible, you have to wait, right? So here property values there are so many, but which property till it gets visible, you have to wait. Okay, visible 0 means what does it mean? Invisible, right? So invisible, so except 0 any value you can give it. Visible 1 means invisible, visible 1 means is visible. Okay, so it will try to wait till that image exists. This is nothing but like another way of inserting your synchronization point. Okay, here let us suppose there is a bug in your application. If that is the situation, means it will never get navigate home page, right? So it will try to wait even days, months, years also, right? So what you have to do at that point of time? So your QTP never go for executing further. Okay, it will be keep waiting till that object gets enabled, right? So that is the another drawback of like your synchronization point. This is through insert synchronization point step, but how you can overcome is like timeout in milliseconds. Okay, so what you can do is maximum 3 minutes or 2 minutes you try to wait. Maximum 2 minutes or 3 minutes try to wait. Within 2 minutes also you are unable to navigate that page, that image QTP unable to see. Okay, you make that step fail and go to next script execution. Okay, so this is nothing but like timeout, maximum timeout. So maximum this much time it will take to wait. Within that time QTP unable to see that object, it will make that step fail and go to next step. Okay, so this is another way of inserting your synchronization point. First is wait statement, so second one is insert synchronization point. Okay, mostly you will use this is the approach in your real time. So your application is taken 3 seconds, it will try to wait for 3 seconds and it will go immediately executing further steps. Your application is taking 30 seconds, it will try to wait for 30 seconds and it will go for executing further. Okay, so this is the advantage of like this synchronization point. Okay, so very mostly in real time you will be going for using this is the synchronization point. Along with that one you have so many. Okay, so okay, till page loads. So here what I am doing, browser dot page dot exist, right? Okay, so it will try to wait till that page loads, then it will go for executing further like setting username, setting password, clicking on sign in button, then validating that one. Another way of inserting synchronization point. Okay, till it will wait this page loads. This is another way of inserting your synchronization point. Okay, sometimes what will happen is that page loads but some objects may not be loaded. It will take some time for if you take like YouTube or some other applications like Times of India, best example, that page could have loaded, so many objects could have loaded, but one video is there. For loading that video it may take some time. Like that within a specific page for loading username is taking some time, let us suppose. So at that time you have to wait for till that object loads, right? So you have to wait till that object loads, then you can go for like then you can go for that one, entering username. Okay, so exactly for password also. So like that, specific object in that window also you can go for dot exist. Okay, if password exists, then only you can go and enter password, right? Otherwise you cannot enter. You can wait till that object loads, like that. Okay, so till page loads, this is another synchronization point. Till object loads, this is another way of inserting your synchronization point. Okay, another way is like dot sync. See here, dot if you give, it has taken automatically. Okay, I haven't given, so while recording it has taken automatically. Okay, so this is another way of inserting your synchronization point. Okay, this is another way of inserting your synchronization point. But remember, this option you don't get for objects. Meanwhile, for browser dot. Okay, for object you are not getting, right? SYNC sync not getting. Okay, meanwhile for browser also you don't get. Oh, for browser you are getting. Normally you don't get for browser. Oh, for browser you are getting. Okay, fine. For browser as well as page, you can insert synchronization point. Dot sync you can give, but objects you cannot. Okay, so this is what you have to remember. Okay, for browser as well as page you can give, but object you cannot. Okay, so dot sync also another way of inserting your synchronization point. Another way is like within parenthesis you can tell your QTP tool, so this is in milliseconds. This much time you have to wait. Milliseconds you can instruct your QTP tool, wait till this much time. Let us suppose for loading that page is taking some time, so at that time you have to wait, right? So within parenthesis also you can go for synchronization point, you can mention. Okay, this is another way of inserting your synchronization point. We have covered 5. What are those? Wait, insert synchronization point, till object, till page loads, till object loads. Okay, so dot sync, and another way is within parenthesis. Okay, sometimes what will happen is for getting a pop-up it may take some time, right? Here you got immediately, but in real time once you enter into the organization, network will be very slow. Network will be very slow. So at that point of time it may take too much time, you may not realize, but it's really true. Okay, so at that time you have to wait, that message you have to validate, let us suppose. So what are, you have to click on OK button on that message. So what you have to do, you have to wait till that page loads, right? Till that pop-up exists. Okay, so the dialog dot exist. So this is another way of inserting your synchronization. During starting of synchronization point, I said depends on the situation, you can use whatever you feel comfortable. all synchronization point you will get a chance to use in your real time. Every point, every synchronization point you will use. Okay, so it depends on the situation. Okay, so wherever it's best to suit, that one you can go for, but all synchronization points you will get a chance to use in your real time. Okay, so till pop-up exists, so this is another way of inserting your synchronization point. Okay, so okay, you could have observed so many times, like when a specific step is failing, so at that time your QTP tool is waiting for some time, right? Why? That is for default synchronization timeout. Okay, so whenever each and everything is going fine, it's very fast, but it's unable to perform some operation. QTP unable to perform some operation means it could have waited some time, right? Why? This is the reason. So it will try to wait for some time. So what is the time? This is default synchronization timeout. By default you will get 20. If you want to change or you want to modify, means you can modify. Okay, 30 you can, or 40, how much you want you can give it. Okay, so but by default it will take 20 seconds. Okay, so remember this is for standalone application, and web tab if you go for, this is for file settings. I went for file settings, run tab. So here 20 seconds you are getting by default. That is for run standalone application. If you go for like web tab, sorry, okay, it will take 60 seconds by default. That is for web based application. This is default synchronization timeout. If you want to modify, you can modify. Okay, so this much time QTP unable to perform any of the operation by default. It will try to wait this much default time. Okay, so this is default synchronization point. Another way of inserting your synchronization point is like while inserting checkpoints. Insert checkpoint. I'm going for like standard checkpoint. So till this button and something I'm validating, let us suppose. Okay, so some property. So here you are getting, right, so checkpoint timeout, right? So here also you can mention how much time QTP can wait for. This is another way of inserting synchronization point. Okay, so final way is nothing but like through scripting. Do loop until it exists. Okay, so you don't want to get confused, like you read along with this statement. So do loop until this pop-up gets exist. That means if this pop-up not exist, it will go inside, right? So what I'm doing is wait 2 seconds. I'm giving that if condition. Okay, so here if that exists, click on OK button, then exit for. What it will do? It will wait for 2 seconds and it will try to validate exists. If it doesn't exist, it will try to wait again. Okay, it will try to loop, keep looping until this pop-up exists. So this is another way of inserting your synchronization point. But if you think like negative scenario, it will never terminate, right? So that pop-up, there is some bug in your application, so it will never get terminate, right? So at that time what QTP tool will do, it will never get terminate, so it will go like infinite loop. So how do you handle that situation? So some incremental you can keep, I equal to 0. Okay, so I equal to I plus 1 or I greater than 60. In either of the case, I greater than 60 whenever 60 is reached. Okay, if this one is true or this one is true, either of the case one is true means r gets true, right? So either of the thing gets true, it will come out of the loop. In middle, let us suppose by chance this pop-up exists, so it will try to activate. It will click on OK button, exit, do. This is not exit for exit, do, exit, do. Okay, so it will come out of this loop. It will click on that OK button, it will come out of this loop. Okay, so this is another way of inserting your synchronization points. Okay, so these are the different ways you can insert your synchronization points. And as I said like initially, so this is the only topic you will get a chance to go for like using 100%. Okay, so any questions, anybody? I have unmuted. Any questions, anybody? Okay, okay, then fine. So here we'll end up. Tomorrow we'll take class. Tomorrow Saturday, right? For you it's Friday maybe. Okay, what about tomorrow? Do you want me to take class or we'll cancel? We'll take only 5 days. How it is? Okay, then fine. We'll make it then Monday to Friday. Okay. Okay. By the time you just try to practice it up. Okay. So you have any questions, you can email me or call me. We can discuss. Okay. So yeah. So what we'll do is like see, while hearing stories will be very good, pretty interesting also. Seems like very easy. Once you sit in front of the computer, that time it will start real story. Okay. So you don't think like yeah, I will share it up. Okay, I will share. Okay. Any more questions? No more questions means then we can end up our session. Okay. Thanks for your time. Okay. See you. Okay. Okay. So then see you. Bye. Bye. Happy weekend.